Welcome back to the Boy Time channel. Today, Janet Jackson, The Velvet Rope. Wheel.
Hands on.
Wow. Good.
I feel like we've been getting a lot of goods in a row.
We have been. I think it's been long enough. It's Janet Jackson, The Velvet Rope.
It's about time.
Well, back. This is highly requested. Finally got to it. Been on my wheel for a hot minute. I've been excited for this thing. We've been kind of slowly going on a run through the best R&B albums of the 90s and early 2000s. So this obviously has to be the next stop after Aaliyah's self-titled. So very excited about this thing. We as Gen Z did not have a lot of knowledge about Janet Jackson because the Super Bowl thing happened when we were young, and then her career basically died because of that, which was awful.
Yes.
So I am very excited to check this out. It's like one of the highest rated albums out there. So I don't know what it is with these 90s R&B albums being really long and a lot of tracks, but that's no different here. We got 23 songs, hour 15 minutes.
Well, I am noticing that some are like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I don't know how many are their actual songs,
Yeah, I've never seen an album start with an interlude, so.
I haven't either. I think inter usually means in the
Yes,
middle.
in the middle.
But that's fine. Yeah,
This
I
is
don't
how
think
we know
I've
she's mixing it up.
Yeah, I don't think I've listened to any Janet Jackson. I don't know if I could tell you a Janet Jackson song if I'm being honest. So
I feel like I've heard one or two, but I cannot remember.
I don't know.
But-
I don't know.
Yeah, this is also our first video after hitting 2,000 subscribers. So thank you for that. This is officially the 2,000 subscriber special, I guess.
Yay.
Because we're not doing anything else special for it. We got too many albums to get through.
Yeah. I didn't even catch it in time. I was going to
Yeah.
take a screenshot, but it was 1998. And then when I checked the next time, it was 2002.
When I checked, it was like 97 and then went straight to 2003. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's what happens when you actually upload videos. Yeah, but that's all I have to add. I think we can just dive right in. This will be a longer one, so hopefully the edit isn't too long. But yeah, so we can jump in.
see.
We'll probably do the first two here. We'll do Interlude, Twisted Elegance into the title track.
Twisted Elegance. It's my belief that we all have the need to feel special. And it's this need that can bring out the best in us, yet the worst in us. This need created the velvet rope.
Twisted Elegance and the Velvet Rope.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, I guess Twisted Elegance is a nice little intro into what we're going to be getting. And then Velvet Rope. I think it was a pretty good opener.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like absolutely blown away by it, but like, I feel like it's a pretty, I mean, it's a good tone setter. Um, I'm going to try to limit the Michael Jackson comparisons. I'm obviously more familiar with Michael Jackson, but there was a lot of like, just like the chorus kind of like with that like, kind of double tracking that reminded me a lot of like how Michael Jackson used to do that. And just like a lot of like how the melody went. I was
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, that it kind of reminds me of something from a Michael Jackson song. So it's kind of interesting to hear that um, because it doesn't sound like a Michael Jackson song at all. It's just like
No.
there's these little things that I'm like, oh, okay, there's that kind of connection where you can maybe tell that they probably learned music the same way or by the same person, which is kind of interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the inflection was kind of interesting, so I could pull out like a couple key parts. I'm like, oh, that sounds similar.
Hmm.
But yeah, a really fantastic opening. I love just how atmospheric and cinematic it is right off the bat. I feel like with these long R&B albums, like it takes 3 or 4 tracks for me to like really find the groove of the album and get going, especially with something like Brandy's Full Moon, where that record is like all over the place. It's like a borderline masterpiece, but it is all over the place tonally.
Yeah.
But this, it's like cinematic. It's a little bit mysterious. I love the bells. I love just like that. Even that violin solo at the end was fantastic. Just the meaning of Velvet Rope, kind of like letting you into like your most true self. Like it's a gated off VIP section where it's just like, no judgment, no anything. Like this is just the true form of yourself, and she makes that painfully clear through like this really really cool instrumental. The violin is crazy. Her vocals are pretty great as well. I love how she kind of tones it back to like bring in that mysterious element throughout the track, and kind of like slowly lets us into this world. It reminds me a little bit how D'Angelo builds tracks, where it starts off very mysterious and you get these little beats and bits and pieces, and just like the atmosphere of it is really fantastic. So yeah, really 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 good start. I guess we will go to track 3. You
Soldier Boy?
Soldier Boy.
Wow.
And a perfect transition. Why not? Abrupt ending. That
Very
was
abrupt ending.
You.
Yeah, I like that one. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not like this isn't like I don't know what. There's just a little bit of a disconnect here. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not like loving it, but like I'm enjoying myself. So I'm in this weird kind of limbo right now.
Mm-hmm.
But uh yeah, I really like the production on that one. That one was weird and wacky. You could have told me it was produced by Rodney, and I would believe you.
Oh
Um,
man, Rodney.
our man, one of my favorite R&B producers. Don't know what his actual like. What is it? Some child, isn't it?
Yeah, I forgot. I can look it up.
It's like Black Child or something. No, that's not Black Child. I forget what it is. But we just know him as Rodney around here. We're on a first name basis, you know.
Real
Um, but yeah, I really liked it. It was pretty wacky.
Dark Child.
Dark Child, that's it.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, no, I thought that one was fine.
Yeah, I like that. I think Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis are the production duo that did most of this, and then Janet Jackson also did some production herself.
Oh,
I do love like 90s R&B, like the way the drum patterns are so like eccentric and off the wall. That's one of my favorite things about the genre at this point, which is like wacko, like super intense, which is not what I would expect like being an outsider to this genre at this moment in time, because today it's so different. But I just love the drum patterns, the energy's there. Yeah, the vocal inflections are kind of Michael Jackson-y, which is kind of cool, honestly, because they both like have this really strong personality that comes through a lot. And I still don't understand Mariah Carey, because like I love stuff like this where it's like you hear the personality just pouring through through the inflection and just like the passion coming through immediately. Mariah Carey, I just can't get into with like the very perfectly like almost robot level like vocal talent she has. It just doesn't click with me. This is much more my speed, where it's
there's more personality here.
there's so much personality.
Yeah.
Like you can just feel it throughout the song. I love the breakdown with this like kind of conscious spell out word thingy that she's doing. Again, it kind of borrows again from other albums we've heard, where you take the track and you build it, and then you add these backing vocals, and it just becomes this like swirling like energy near the end that just feels really awesome. So yeah, I like that one quite a bit. All right.
Very nice.
This one's gonna be interesting. Got Till It's Gone, featuring Joni Mitchell and Q-Tip.
So weirdest combination.
What's the next song?
The one about me.
Oh, I've heard this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Like Jimmy said.
Oh, it's Jay Dilla. That's why. I'm like, I know this.
Oh,
Joni Mitchell never lies. Joni Mitchell never Now you realizing when them nights go long, right? It ain't for me to say when you know that I'm gone, right? You act all wild when I tell you to settle. I was working around the clock, but your girls on the metal. Talk about I heard he's friends with this chick on the beach. That was out with the tide, but my love you impeach. Now you looking at the walls, head in hand, cold jonesing. Rigging my house, hanging up and imposing. Yeah, yeah. Never ever realize.
Got Till It's Gone.
that was pretty good. I like that one. So was Joni Mitchell just sampled? Is that what
Yes.
that was?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense then. I was like, when is she gonna come in and just do something weird? But okay, yeah. No, I really like that. Yeah, Q-Tip and Janet Jackson. That's a match made in heaven, I tell you what. Yeah, like I really liked what were they saying? The like kind of what was it? Don't it always seem to go? And there was that kind of like dual tracking thing that was going on. I love a dual melody type thing going. I love that. Q-Tip, I love him. He's probably one of my favorite rappers, so it's always just a treat to hear him on anything. So
Real.
that was just fun. That was a
Yeah,
fun one.
I gotta pull out the masterpiece for that one. It's kind of crazy the impact Jay Dilla has when I turn on a song and I can immediately like be like, oh, something's different. Who was this? Because like I've heard parts of that beat before. Apparently he was like an uncredited producer on this one, which is weird. But yeah, just he's magical. Like the way he's able to pull Joni Mitchell and like fuse all these things together into a perfect like chill song was just amazing. I feel like Janet and Joni Mitchell actually went together very well, with Joni Mitchell's kind of taking this more chorus chopped up, and then Janet kind of sliding in. It was just incredibly smooth. Q-Tip just brings like an energy to every song he's on to. There's something about him that just like brings life to a track. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Like I love the vibe of that one. That is just, man, J Dill is incredible. We should probably do donuts on this channel, just because I'd love to talk about J Dilla, and I have not listened to that album in a while. But yeah,
I don't even know if
fantastic.
I've heard of it.
It's next level.
Okay.
It's mostly
it
instrumentals,
is.
but like it's nuts. So yeah, fantastic. Alrighty, we will do interlude speakerphone into My Need.
Dust.
Don't you worry about it. I'm taking care of my business.
Your coochie gonna swell up and fall apart.
Is that the female version of D's nuts?
That's what I'm calling it. Perfect.
Make excuses. I just want you inside, baby. We don't need to talk about no promises. Honey, tonight, baby, let's not get too soft and gentle with it, 'cause I am not feeling in no mood to play around.
Abrupt again. That was speakerphone and My Need.
Wow. I think My Need is my favorite one so far. That is, I would say, probably the best chorus we've had so far. I loved that. But I'm a sucker for those harmonies. I'm a sucker for the dual melodies. I already said that. So that whole closer was fantastic. It was kind of reminded me of that "Doing It Right" song, which is I would say a primo example of how to do a dual melody thing right. Even though it's I don't know, it's very specific. But that one, man, I really loved that. I don't know. Am I in the minority here?
No, I love that.
Okay, perfect.
The interludes are actually adding a lot, because I love how the interlude ended in that beat drop, and you're immediately like, oh man, like it gives you a breathing point where like these drops of the beats are actually like have full impact, which is great, because this instrumental is fantastic. The bass line on this thing she just knew how her way around this song. Like the pacing of it, everything was just really, really great. Yeah, I'm fully in at this point. I feel like, you know, you get kind of introduced to the velvet rope, and then it just kind of, you got to slowly get in there. But once you're in, this is great. So this is gonna be one of those where it's like, I'm not gonna want to pause, because like once you get going, you don't want to stop.
Right.
Alrighty. Interlude, fasten your seatbelts into Go Deep.
All right.
I'm sorry. Now you can sing. What was I supposed to say? Chris is so cute.
Playing the doohickey.
The doohickey.
These songs don't end.
No.
Go Deep.
I loved that one. Man, they just keep getting better. That one was probably the wackiest one yet, with the doohickey, and then they had they had like the old hillbilly thing where they slap. I'm like, what is this song? It's so funky, and that bass is like right there, but then they're just like in the background. What if we just put some wacky stuff in? And I think it made the song better. So I applaud that choice, because it made the song. It was very fun.
Whimsical and fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was great. I have not heard like a funk drop like that since like Wesley's Theory, where it just like hits you. Funkadelic type stuff there. Yeah, I love that. I love how chunky that bass was, how forward it was. She's just killing choruses now. Like, now that I've gotten used to her style, like, it is really, really, really good. This is one of these where like these choruses will probably get stuck in your head at random. But again, like, progression of the tracks here, fantastic. I love the little bridge. And then that like little warbling drum buildup into the last chorus was awesome. And I just appreciate a song about, you know, going out with the boys, or in this,
Hell yeah,
going out with the girls.
Marg Night.
Yes, sir. Yeah, really fun. All right. Free Zone, track 9.
Who's Zone, and why are they in jail?
I guess we'll find out.
It's just gonna be a whole song detailing.
Next song.
Why is this like a song that would be in a James Bond movie?
He was on an airplane sitting next to this guy. Said he wasn't too shy, and he said.
Free Zone.
That one was pretty good. Yeah, I was surprised. I was a little worried when it started out. And I found out that he was gay. I'm like, oh no, it's a song from the '90s. What's
No.
gonna happen?
I don't think Janet's straight, so I think you're good.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, good. Okay, so that tracks then, because I was like, wow, this is like pretty ahead of its time, especially like talking about Q-Tip. I think like infamously, there's a song
The
cut
Tribe
from
song.
Roland Theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. You know, yeah, I don't know. The song was kind of I don't really know how to describe it, but there was whistles. And I like
That's always
that.
good.
That's always a good addition.
Real.
Yeah, Carrie and Lowell was pretty good. Could have done with more whistles.
Could have
That's what
been
I've
more
always
whistles.
said. Yeah. Yeah,
John, my
I like
beloved,
that one.
should have ended with a whistle solo. That's all I'm saying.
Shut up.
Yeah, that was really great. I love the kind of like queer liberation, just like free to be yourself kind of attitude. I feel like this song does it a lot better than something like You earlier. But I love the dance kind of breakdowns. The song was all over the place in the best way. I love the use of electronic and dance music to kind of bring that narrative full circle, because that is where a lot of like queer music originated, was club scenes, stuff like that. So really good use of that. I love even just like the little Bond themos intro to like bring you into it, and then it just goes off the rails. So this record is so much fun. I feel like with an R&B record, you either get like really smooth sensual stuff or you get off the wall craziness, and I'm loving that this is just so in your face. And every song has been very memorable so far, which is hard to do on an album this long, so hopefully that continues. But
yeah, hopefully.
We got a 4-second interlude. I don't know if we need to talk about that one, so we'll do 2 tracks. We'll do Memory and then Together Again.
You don't have to hold on to the pain to hold on to the memory.
The harp.
There are times when I look above and beyond. There are times when I feel your love around when I feel that I don't belong. Draw my strength from the words when you said, hey, it's about you, baby. Deeper inside you, baby. Dream about us together again. Every smile I see, I know you are there, smiling back at me, dancing in moonlight. I know you are free.
This is like a disco remix of the Full House theme song.
Is that what this is?
It sounds like it. That was the same like vocal progression.
If this is an interpolation of the Full House theme, this is gonna be the weirdest song of all time.
Sometimes he'll whisper in no pain, no worries. Will you ever see my baby? So happy for my baby. I know you are free, 'cause I can see your star shining down on me.
Memory and Together Again.
I'm not gonna say anything about Memory. It was 4 seconds long.
Why not?
Together Again I thought was fine. It isn't really my type of song. I'm not really into like 90s dance stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty good for what it was. It's just not my cup of tea usually. But
Yeah, I really love the disco approach. I feel like she's taking a lot of risks here, and she's actually killing all of them. I feel like her vocals match this instrumental perfectly, and it sounds like pretty different compared to the other songs too. And she's just killing it. Apparently, this song was kind of created to people that have died around her by AIDS. So that's coming right after the kind of queer liberation moment, interluding into this. I felt amazing pacing.
Yeah.
You just feel the passion in this song. Again, like as an artist this big, and she's doing this in '97 with all the stigmatism and stuff around it, is really phenomenal. But I love the disco approach. Man, like the pacing on this thing is so good. You get into like track 4 or 5 and it just doesn't let you go. I'm loving these, like the interludes have purpose. They break apart tracks a little bit. They add for a little bit of a mood switch into the next song, so it doesn't feel abrupt or anything. I feel like Full Moon could have used a couple of these just to like, because they went so all over the place. I would have liked a little bit of a dip before we got into the slower stuff.
True, yeah.
But man, she is killing this thing. Love it so far. We will have Interlude Online and then Empty. Vaporwave Arc. PS2 disc insert. Oh, not quite.
Not quite. That was just AOL.
Gorgeous.
Fighting you with no one knows, but it feels so real. When I close my eyes, I can see your face. When I lick my lips, I can taste your smile. When I see your name, my stars to race. Is this a new way to love? When we're face to face, is it enough? Does it really count, or am I a fool? So tell me please, am I wasting my time? Your phrases, descriptive, and do the extra words with beauty, repose, and use the verbs.
Empty. And
That
online.
one was, well, the AOL startup sound
That's
was
true.
it was groundbreaking. But yeah, I liked Empty. I am going to nitpick something that kind of drove me crazy for the first minute. The marimba or whatever that was, some sort of
Whatever.
xylophone like instrument. For some reason, so they have that riff that they would do, and then they would just play it over and over again. For some reason in the production, and I think this is what happened. because the xylophones, when you hit it once, it has a long reverb.
Mhm.
They cut off the reverb and then started the loop again. So there's like a stark kind of start to it, like over and over and over again every loop. And I'm like, man, like I don't know what you
I
do.
actually liked it.
I did not
I
like
felt like
that.
it
It took
broke
me
it
out
up
of
because
it.
there's so much happening.
Well, the thing I only noticed it when it was just that.
Yeah.
But then, like once you started introducing all these other
Then it's
elements,
like, yeah.
it's like okay, I'm back in. But it just was like, oh, why is it like this for
Mhm.
like a minute? But I liked the song quite a bit. Everything was so rich
Mhm.
and full, and then it got weird, wacky, and just overwhelming. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. Again, good use of an interlude. I love the like PlayStation 2 vaporwave into the AOL startup song into like you are now connected to the internet and here's what the beat sounds like, and it's just off the wall crazy.
Yeah.
Love all the percussion. I love how glitchy it is. This sounds so far ahead of its time. It's kind of crazy because this is what hyperpop artists today are kind of going off BPM wise and how quick this is.
Yeah.
But worked fantastic. I love how like just clogged this instrumental was. There was so much happening at all times, but her vocals just soar through all and all. Just the concept of like, can you really have a relationship with someone online? Writing this in 1997, now knowing what we know today is kind of funny. But the song aged well. It still sounds nice. Like I love the more nostalgic feeling of how sound design used to be with like the old internet kind of aesthetic, where it was like, ooh, vaporwave, futuristic, like really weird synths. Everybody was like, whoa. I really like that. So yeah, really, really, really good. She is just really breaking barriers with this thing as we continue to go on. This is definitely the most invested I've stayed in these long R&B albums so far because there's just so much variety here that like makes so much sense. So
Yeah.
very,
Good
very
stuff.
good. All right, interlude full, and then what about?
What about Bob?
What
My
about
favorite
Bob?
film?
How empty of me to be so full of you.
The water level.
Oh, it's a beach level.
Yes. Oh,
You said, I wanna spend my life with you. I want you for more. Just then I thought,
Okay. Is this Janet? What is it? F2, F2R, or whatever that SZA song is.
yeah, F2F or whatever.
F2F, yeah.
I took a but then I don't wanna live my life in misery. Don't tell me you did it 'cause you love me. I don't believe.
Got that Kate Bush bass in there.
Oh, yeah. Just hiding back there.
What about?
I think that might be the song that is aged the poorest or whatever. I don't know. That is so late 90s, early 2000s. Not that it's bad, but just like everything else is like, it's so timeless. I feel like a lot of these songs, like, they could have been made today by any of the contemporary R&B artists, and I wouldn't bat an eye. But that one's just like, that one kind of sticks out like a sore thumb with those like I don't even know, like, those guitar tones are so, like, I don't know,
Yes.
like Linkin Park or
Limp
something. Like, it's just like,
Bizkit.
yeah, it's just like, oh man, it's like I understand what she's doing, but I'm like, man, when that song first started, I'm like, yo, we're gonna get a song with Spanish guitar. I love Spanish guitar, and then I'm like, oh no, it's a different kind of guitar, one that I experienced when I was 5 years old. Um, but I thought it was fine, but that's not one I'm gonna go back to a whole lot, I think.
Yeah, I was very conflicted, but I think by the end of the song, I think I'm digging it. I feel like this is what SZA should have done. She should have full committed, because that guitar tone is angry. It's up there. It's loud, and she matches it, which is the best part.
Mhm.
Her vocal inflections and like range she has on this album is fantastic. She can get quiet and sensual, but then it's like mad, angry up front. Matches it perfectly. So I mess with it. I like it a lot. I love just like the letting out of all this anger and, you know, response to all this abuse and stuff. Again, it's kind of crazy, that, I mean, I think this is like where SZA took inspiration for doing F2F.
Probably, yeah.
But if you're gonna full commit like this, and she knew what she was doing, and she was confident going into it, and it just worked really well. I do agree about it aging the most, because yeah, that's definitely like something about that guitar tone is just like late '90s, like Limp Bizkit, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But I messed with it. I think she did it really well. I think that's really hard to pull off, because usually if I hear a guitar tone like that, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, right.
All right. Every time, track 16. Our interludes are going away.
Oh no. How is this the song right after What About?
I'm afraid I'm starting to feel what I said I would not do. The last time really hurt me. I'm scared to fall in love. Used to never last. But every time your love is near,
I know the song, but I don't know where.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's the same thing. I'm like, is it in something?
'cause every time I see your face, my heart does begin to race every time. And every time I'm filled with fear, 'cause every time my heart does begin to race every time.
It better not be a key change. I have to laugh every time they do the key change at the end. Every time.
I like that one. But again, like that one also feels like
Oh, yeah.
very specifically a 90s
I
ballad.
think every single '90s R&B album we've done, there's one song like this that it's just
It
the same
sounds
exact
exactly like-
structure. I'm like, there better not be a key change, and there was.
Yeah. It's like, oh well, we got to get the obligatory ballad in.
Yeah, like I feel like everybody just needed a wedding song, so they just made a whole bunch of these.
We need a first dance song, damn
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but I mean, I liked it, but it's not like there's so much stuff like before these last two tracks that are like so weird and quirky and original. Where it's like those are the songs I'm probably gonna be going back to. I mean, I'm not gonna skip either of these last two
No.
songs, but I'm not like I want to listen to some Janet Jackson. I'm gonna just throw on What About.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, I liked What About quite a bit. This one was like a very stark contrast because that obviously, I'm not a fan of ballads. That is like a big blind spot for me, as I do not like these kind of songs. I find them usually to be over dramatic and have the same exact strong song structure, including this one. Slow tempo. It's literally a dance song, and then you get a build with a key change at the end, and that's it. I feel like I've heard this song 5 times, but I think it's just other songs that sound exactly like this. With that being said,
Yeah.
it's well made. Her vocals are great. I like the instrumental. I love that little bass low end coming in to give it a little bit of a unique flavor. But these things are not for me. I didn't like the ones on the Brandy album. I don't like the ones here. So that's not really the stuff I'm looking for personally, but that's just me not liking ballads. Unless it's like,
Yeah.
Bridge Over Troubled Water or something. That's like the one
That's
exception.
like
Yeah.
a step above.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So, Tonight's the Night, track 17. Spooky Zone.
Every album has to have a spooky zone.
It's true.
This is
Boy
just
time
between
rule.
me and you. Stay away from my window. Stay away from my back door too. Disconnect the telephone line. Loosen up the back of your pretty French gown. Yeah. Let me pour you a good long drink. Ooh, baby, don't you hesitate. Tonight's the night. It's gonna be alright. 'Cause I love you, girl. Ain't nobody gonna stop us now. Tonight's the night. It's gonna be alright. 'Cause I love you, girl. My virgin child. Just let your inhibitions run wild. The secret is about to unfold. Upstairs before the night's too old. 'Cause tonight's the night. Tonight's the night. I'm gonna make you feel alright. Tonight's the night. Don't be afraid.
Tonight's the Night.
That's what the last song should have been.
That's, yeah.
Yeah. That was like a 90s R&B ballad, but like had like her very unique kind of quirky stuff from the beginning injected into it. And I'm like, this is way better. Not that I disliked the last one. It was just like, so I've heard it before, but this one's like, okay, there's a little bit of a spin to it. I can forgive it, I guess, a little bit for that. But yeah, I like that one a bit. Had a nice groove to it.
Yeah, I like that one so much more than the last one. I feel like breaking the formula, doing your own thing. This one came across as like sensual, personal, like the groove of it went really well. I love the little bass line going on here. That's what I want. I want that kind of mellow, just like really, really groove heavy ballad, because that was great. So I'm glad that there was just like a little bit of a drop off and then right back. So
Yeah.
which is good because we still have like, 6 more songs or 5 more songs. So
Yeah.
all right. I Get Lonely, track 18, a popular one.
I get so lonely. Can't let just anybody on me. The one that lives with me, my dear. Want no one but you. I get so lonely. But there's no reason why I fell asleep late last night, crying like a newborn child.
I get lonely.
Oh, it's pretty good. I don't know if I would put it so high in the top. I would say that's a kind of middle of the road one for me. Not nearly as bad as the couple ones in the middle there, but I don't know. That one wasn't like one I was like, ooh yeah, that one's really standing out as being super fantastic. I mean, it was pretty good at what it was, and like I'm not trying to knock it at all. It's just like I don't know, it's fine to me.
Yeah, that definitely sounded like the radio hit. I feel like there's other R&B songs that do the same thing. But with that being said, I felt like it was still done really well. I started the track being like somewhat disinterested just because it felt like I've heard it before. But as the song went on, like I really, really, really liked the chorus. There's just something about it that was kind of infectious that got to me. So really great, honestly. I mean, it's nothing too out there, but at the same time, like she knows how to carry a variety of tracks, and the production backs it up perfectly. That's one thing about 90s R&B that I've found is like there's always a track progression and there's always like some switch up that makes it really interesting, especially when all your songs are like 4 or 5 minutes. You need that. So really,
Yeah.
really, really good. Alrighty, Rope Burn, track 19.
My lips hurt.
The doohickey.
The doohickeys.
You walked into the room, you knew just what to do. You could have gone from door to door, but you knew just where to go to. Come into my velvet room and tell me fantasy.
Rope Burn.
That one was quirky and fun. What's that Prince song on Purple Rain?
Nikki, was that
Sweet Nicky,
Sweet Nikki? I think
something like
there's
that.
one on Sign of the Times too. I forget.
Is there?
He did a couple.
I just remember the Sweet Nicky one because
Yes.
it was just like way out of left field the first time I heard it. I'm like, whoa, what is happening? This one was not quite as jarring, just because we have had other like sexual songs, but yeah, I mean, I thought that one was pretty good. I'm glad the doohickey's back. Love the doohickey.
Best part of the album.
Best part of any song, really. Yeah. I mean, I'm still in.
Mhm.
It's just, man, we are like
It's
20
long.
songs deep. I am exhausted.
Yes.
But I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah, no, I really like that one. That was fantastic. I love the vibe of it. It's got this kind of dark, moody instrumental, but it's still incredibly sensual. I love the little like wanna feel, and then it cuts out. You get the little rope burn, and then you get this swell of instrumentation. That's so cool with the push and pull of that. I I was like looking through like the critic reviews of like publications of this album from like years ago, and people were just like lambasting this thing and like hating it. And it's like this is the most free sounding album I've heard. Like, she gets so deep into these things.
Yeah.
It's so free, and it's like when Prince does a song like this, people probably praise it, and then they look at this and they're like, it's really strange and hypocritical.
Well,
Because
yeah.
I think this was done fantastically. I mean, like, you go, girl, do your thing, but this sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole pacing of it too was great. I love it. Just like this anticipation of the whole track just went with the subject matter perfectly. So really great. Really big standout near the end of this thing, because yeah, usually when these albums are this long and there's this many tracks, you get a little disconnected, but that one is just like a wake up call again. So
Yeah.
couple more.
Pretty good.
Anything, track 20. The harp's back.
Hold me, kiss me, show me you wanna be with me. Anything when you do convince me, can't turn back. I'll be your best. You know that good things don't come easy. When you do convince me, can't turn back. I'll be your best. You know that good things don't come easy. We'll do anything for you.
Anything.
Yeah, thought that one was pretty good. Yeah, I'm running on fumes here, honestly. This is a long boy. But I mean, I like that one quite a bit. Like, I'm surprised, like, this album is so long, you would expect like there to just be like some trash songs here on the end just for filler, I guess. I don't know. But no, the quality has stayed up, which is surprising. I can't wait to listen to this album again when I'm back to 100%, because right now I'm very tired. But
Yeah, it's very
very
different
good.
listening to an hour and 15 album when you have to talk about every song compared to when you just listening to it.
Yes.
But yeah, I like that one quite a bit. Not one I'll probably go back to a whole lot, just because I feel like I've gotten that kind of song already earlier in a better way. But I think it's a good follow up to Rope Burn. You go from that more like out there stuff to like a more sensual, like intimate, relaxing cut. So yeah, I it's still giving at the end of the album. That's surprising. I feel like Brandy kind of dropped off a little bit near the end because there was a lot of ballads in a row, and I was like not feeling that. This one has kept my attention thoroughly throughout it. Yeah, we'll do Interlude Sad, and then Special actually contains Can't Be Stopped as a hidden track. So I think we're just going to do all three. So they're listed as a separate track on Spotify, but on the original version, it's a hidden track inside of Special. So we'll just do the whole thing as God intended.
Okay. That's right.
There's nothing more depressing than having everything and still feeling sad. You must learn to water your spiritual garden.
Hey G, it's been a long time since I've seen you last. I know how you're feeling. Same thing I did deal with. You're not as alone as you may feel. You see strong enough.
Special and Can't Be Stopped.
I really, really liked those. I thought that those were really, really good closers. I was looking at the plays on Spotify and I was like, man, are these songs that they added later? Because like these last two
Just so
songs have
low.
like significantly less plays. I'm like, oh, that means they suck, or something's going on. Why is this steep drop off? And frankly, I don't get it because those two songs are great. I thought that they were a really, really great closer to the album. They kind of recaptured what I loved so much about the beginning of the record. Um, I thought they were really, really solid, especially since I was sleepy and it kind of woke me up. So, yeah, great. And I guess the album as a whole, really, really good. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect going into this, having never heard a Janet Jackson song, but I very, very pleasantly surprised. I can see why this album is so highly rated. Off first listen, I'm just putting it out there. I think I might like this as much as that Brandy record. There's a lot of the things that the Brandy one does. It goes not as all over the place, but she tries a lot of things, and I would say most of the time very successfully. She's very clearly a very talented songwriter, and yeah, I'm a fan of the quirky stuff. That's one of my favorite things when we're doing our '90s R&B hip hop. They got to be quirky, and it's full of quirk. So great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this and Full Moon are like two of the most influential albums going into the 2000s, just because like you can hear a lot of like bass of stuff that has been happening today and recently. So I think that's why they go over so well, because it is just like, it's dated, but it's timeless at the same time. It's strange. Yeah, I really like the closers. I love the more optimistic, freeing message again at the end, especially after like, she's an artist this big. She's taking very controversial stances for the time, and she is just owning it completely, and she kills it across the whole thing. There's so much emotion and attitude and personality throughout this entire record. Everything sounds different and unique. There's only a handful of things where I'm like, hey, that sounds like a radio song. All the other ones just sound like this is their full artistic vision brought forward. And it did fantastic. I mean, even just the opening with Velvet Rope feels so much more rewarding now, because it does take you into this world, into her mind, into her deepest like emotions, and it does it really, really well. So I'll have to give this one a listen again without having to like pause and talk with it, because the groove, especially in that like track 4 through like 15, was crazy. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. I don't think I could pick out favorite songs right now. We'll do that in the retrospective eventually. But yeah, this one definitely ranks high up there in the R&B albums I've heard. Still think D'Angelo's Voodoo takes the cake for me. Absolute masterpiece, but this is maybe a number 2 to that. But we'll see. So, fantastic.
Yeah. Great pick, and I know we have some suggestions. So throw those on the screen. A sampling. I don't know.
I'll try to see what I can find.
They're out there.
If I don't like die from editing this 2-hour-long recording.
That's true. That is true. But let's spin a G-dang wheel, huh?
Let's go. Yippee. Okay, we're good.
You don't know.
You don't know.
What if I spin it again, huh?
What do we got?
Good. Got a lot on here.
Oh, you got some good stuff. Okay.
I got a lot of good stuff, some have said. I'm thinking Elliott Smith.
Let's go.
XO.
Let's do it.
So we'll be sad, but it'll be fun.
We're just doing classics. That's what's happening now.
That's fine. I like that.
Can't have this many banger albums in a row.
Well, that's true.
All right, join us next time for Elliott Smith XO. A little bit of a switch up, but we're staying in the 90s. So we've been in the 90s actually. Neutral Milk
That's
fell
true.
into this, and then Why not?
Yeah.
My pick after
Didn't
this will be in
even-
the 90s. Who knows? You can leave suggestions in the comments. Our wheel is gigantic, but if we like them, we might put them on our personal wheel. So you get a
It's
much
true.
higher pick or chance of being picked if we like your suggestion or if it intrigues me. So,
Yeah. I mean, our last two have been fan suggestions.
correct. And they've both been
So.
bangers. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Because I'm still listening to Neutral Milk Hotel every day.
Mm-hmm.
So
We're those kind of music nerds now.
I just have a lot of time on my hands where I
Oh.
listen to music at work.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Epic. Bye.